Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're looking at the Legacy United Doom and Destruction Collection, number 1. This has Deluxe, Insecticon, Chop Shop, and Barrage, as well as the Wrecker Malleus Minotaurus. And Amazon is just starting to ship out the Doom and Destruction Collection to me. So we are going to start with this one. A quick look at the box here. These Doom and Destruction boxes are really nice looking. There's the back there, you see what you get. Now all 3 of these figures here are recolors, and for the Insecticons are also remolds. And we'll look at the smallest of the group here first, Malleus Minotaurus. And he is just a recolor of Smashdown. So here he is in his hammer form. His deal is he's supposed to be the forging assistant for Solus Prime, which apparently is coming out in a bit. But just for a little comparison here he is next to the original. So basically all I did is cast them all in a gray plastic. He's got a different symbol right there in blue. So that's about it. Like Smashdown, you can, any character, you can plug into their fists or any 5mm port to hold the weapon. For accessories, he comes with these 2 blast effect parts. This one here is the same one that came with Smashdown, just in this clear blue. And this one's a new effect part that apparently was molded since Smashdown came out, but it's never released. So both of these can plug onto either side. So you have a smashing effect like this, and this one you can plug in as well. I think this one's supposed to represent molten slag after it struck something. That's pretty nice, especially the blue on the plain gray plastic. Goes pretty well. But there's not much more to say about him, so let's move on. Next up we have Barrage, who is a deluxe Insecticon, and he is a recolor remold of Bombshell. And like Ransack and his Doom and Destruction counterpart Chop Shop, they're based on the G1 Deluxe Insecticons, which never made it into any of the original show, most of the early media, because they're made by a rival company to Takara in Japan, but they were sold in the US and other markets for us to play with. And he is green and yellow. Pretty nice looking figure. Out of the box, these 2 leg pieces here come separate, so you'll just have to plug them in. As far as movement on him, his head moves around, but because of this piece back here, you can only do side to side like that. Arms go all the way around, about up that much. And now you have rotation here, the bicep. You have that much bend at the elbow. You can't move the wrists at all except to go in due to transformation. The waist does rotate. Move the legs forward that much. backwards will go that far. Move the legs out. You have this mushroom peg here for rotation at the thigh. You can bend the knees that far. The toes can flip down, do the transformation, and you have this ankle rocker here that goes about that far. And he comes with some accessories. They're same accessories that came with Bombshell. They're in a green plastic. As far as ports, you can stick them in the backs of the legs if you want. Something like that if you want to get these out of the way. The weapons can all combine, so they can peg together like this if you want to have one large blaster. That, and you can have him hold it in either one of his hands. He can also hold the smaller blasters too. But one thing you do is, because the pegs on the smaller blasters are pretty short, you can have him hold both weapons in one hand. So you can kind of have dual blaster slash maybe like some kind of like a claw weapon there, and hold the other weapon in that hand if you want. Looks kind of cool. And just to show you, there he is in robot mode next to Bombshell. It's basically his torso swapped around, and he's a different color. Of course, new mold on the head and this chest piece as well. But these are both good looking figures. I like what they did with Barrage to differentiate him from Bombshell. And we'll look at Chop Chop in his robot mode. So he's a recolor and remold of Shrapnel. So he's in his brown and orange color scheme. And he's got a new head there. And like Barrage, he comes with a separate set of legs. So these two are loose in the box, so you just have to plug them in there, and they go in a specific orientation. So this piece is a little bit longer. I'll be pointing down towards the hand. That looks nice. Movement, you can move his head all the way around. You can angle these pieces however you want. Arms will spin all the way around, out that far. The same movement at the bicep. That much bend at the elbow. And again, like Barrage, you can't rotate the wrists at all. They'll swing in due to transformation. You can rotate the waist. Your legs can move out that far, back that far. And move them to the side like that. And separate rotation at the thighs. Knees will bend that far. And the feet have the same movement as well as Barrage. And for Chop Chop's accessories, the exact same weaponry that came with Shrapnel. You have these two identical blasters here in brown. And you have this main rifle here, which is painted in brown over orange plastic. So you can hold any of the weapons individually in his hands. You have a couple options. You can plug them in any of the ports in the back. These also combine as well to a larger rifle. So you take any one of the smaller weapons here, plug the tip into the back of this blaster here, like that, and you're going to plug one down here to have a large weapon like that. And you can hold them both, just takes a little bit of wiggling around, but looks like that. And to compare them to Shrapnel in robot mode, see, basically the same aside for the color scheme and the new head, that extra set of legs that they plopped in. And they look good together. And Chop Shop looks really good despite being basically just a repaint of Shrapnel. And we got Barrage and Chop Shop next to their deluxe Insecticon buddy, Ransack. So Ransack was available in the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Worlds Collide 4-pack. And here's the whole Insecticon gang so far. So the only one we're missing from the G1 series would be Venom. And as it turns out, Venom was the only deluxe Insecticon I actually had. He's a green and orange cicada. So as of this video, there's no release date, but I'm definitely going to pick them up. And these guys look good together. The original black and purple color scheme, the OG Decepticons, I think it works well with the individual color schemes of the deluxe Insecticons. They still all read together as a group. They're still obviously insect bots, but there's enough, I think, personality from these color schemes that the deluxe Insecticons have to really help set them apart. Okay, for transformations, we'll move back to Malleus Minotaurus. That's the exact same transformation as Siege Smashdown. So each end of the hammer is a combination of the arms and legs. So just split that apart. Then there's a hinge here. So we're going to grab the head and just pull it back till it stops. Swing the legs down. Bring the head up, move the arms to wherever you want. And there's Malleus Minotaurus in robot mode. Not too much to him. Again, he's just a recolor of Siege Smashdown. For movement, you can move the head up and down, rotate it all the way around. The arms are on ball joints. Can go out that far, a little spin all the way around. Legs can move out that far, and they can spin around as well. And that's about it. We're going to look at the two comparison with Smashdown in robot mode. And I think between the two of these guys, Smashdown looks more visually interesting. He's got a couple different colors on him, and the kind of bright silver there is really eye-catching. And really, this guy just looks like an unfinished model. Yeah, it's a waiting painting. But that's about it. Moving on. And to get Barrage in his alt mode, we take the chest piece here, so unclip that, and then this is also clipped into the chest here. So just pull that up and bring it over his face. Flip in the hands, and they're going to come in here at the shoulders. For the legs, these pieces here on the shins are going to flip out, and you can bring each leg piece down. So it's going to come down like this, and then at the knees are going to hinge back, so that this part here is going to fold up into this empty cavity in the thigh. I'll just get that in there like that. And get the toe out of the way so you can complete that motion. Do the same thing on the other side. That down, toe out of the way, collapse it all the way down. There's a dual tab slot connection on each leg to connect them together. Then there's these two tabs here. They're going to little slots right there. Let's get that all lined up and pushed into place like that. So for the arms, you have these 1, 2 tabs, and you have a slot here and then an empty space, if you can see it right in there, that this one on the outside is just going to sit into. Just line that up. You might have to move this out a little bit to get that in. It does like to pop itself out. Just help move this out slightly. And that'll sit in there like that. The same on the other side. Get that lined up. Move this out of the way if you need to. This one popped out again. That. And that is Barrage in insect mode. It looks very similar to Bombshell. And the new piece here, which can move up and down if you want it to. No more movement there. You can rotate these a bit if you want. But that's about it for movement. For his weapons, you have a couple of options here. You can have any of the weapons sitting like that. Again, you can combine them. So for storage, you just put them together like so. You have these ports on the back of what become his feet in robot mode. So you can put that, either one of the blasters, kind of like that. You can angle this sort of like this if you want. One thing you can do if you want, if you like symmetry, if the other options sort of bother you, so you can plug these up top. They're a little shallow, but they will stay in there. And one thing you can take advantage of is if you undo one of the arms, flip out the hand. We're just going to bring this back down with the fist out. Let's see if we can get this into place here. And what you can do is you can take this larger blaster here, plug it into the fist. Then you've got clearance there underneath. Plug these guys back in here, like so. I have all the weapons stored a little bit more neatly, if you prefer. And here's a look at Barrage in alt mode, in comparison to his mold mate Bombshell. You can see the little bit of remolding and recoloring, I think, goes a long way on these two guys. And again, I think Barrage looks really good. And transformation for Chop Chop, just like Shrapnel. So we're going to take these pieces here, flip them down over the face, bring these up, and put them wherever you want. We'll flip the hands inside, rotate the legs at the waist all the way around. Take the panels on the shins, I'm going to flip them out. Take this leg assembly, pull it up, get the toes out of the way, and we're going to fold this piece into the hollow section of the thigh. So I'm going to get that in there. Do the same thing on the other side, toe down, bring this up, fold it in on itself. And we have the same double tab slot connection to connect the legs together, and 2 slots here are going to go into the body. Let's bring that in like that. Arms, we have 1, 2, 3 tabs, so they're going to go into slots on the back section of the body. Just tab those in on both sides. And last thing on the bottom, we have these legs to flip out, just like so. There's Chop Chop in insect mode. And it looks really good. And very, very similar to Shrapnel. I like the addition of these legs. And they really subtly change the silhouette. Make it look like a whole new bot. The only thing that moves in here is you can move these big mandibles here wherever you like. For weapons, so you can bring them in here. There's different ports that you can plug things into. What I like to do, because I like symmetry, take these 2 up on the top like that, and on the bottom here you can plug in this rifle down below, have it sitting like that, which I think looks really nice. And here we have Chop Chop compared to his buddy Shrapnel. See, very, very similar looking bots, but there's enough, I think, changed on Chop Chop to make him look unique. There you go. And everyone together again, this time in their alt modes. Again, looking pretty good. The only thing in this mode I think that really stands out is you can clearly tell, since Bombshell and Shrapnel already shared the same leg assembly, now you have 4 bots that look pretty much identical, at least from the back. But other than that, I think they've done enough between the remolds and recolors where these make some pretty good individual figures. So some final thoughts on the set. Design wise, the color schemes on the deluxe Insecticons, they look really nice. The little bit of remolding they did, I think, was enough to set them apart from the regular Insecticons as separate figures. Malleus Minotaurus, not as great. The all gray color scheme looks incomplete to me, but it does pair well with those blue effects and a little bit of blue paint that he has on the head. Transformation wise, pretty simple. There are all mostly identical transformations to their mold mates, aside from Barrage, who has the torso twisted around, but pretty easy to pick up. Playability wise, you got a number of pegs on the ports on the Insecticon, so you can plug in blast effects. If you have weaponizers, fossilizers, that sort of thing, they can take a few accessories from them. Durability wise, there's nothing that I found that I'm worried about breaking off on these guys. They seem pretty robust. All in all, a pretty good set. So this is probably of the 3 Doom and Destruction boxes that have been announced so far. This one is the one I was most excited for. I am going to pick up the other ones. Waiting for delivery on the second box set. So I'll be going through that when that comes in. Other than that, I don't have anything else to say. So, if you're watching, thank you very much, and I hope to see you next time.